All right, all right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the TPN After Hours show. So we record these on every other Wednesday night from starting right around 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and then go until midnight-ish. So you happen to be watching this after the fact on YouTube. Hello. Thanks for checking it out. But otherwise, yeah, thanks for joining us. Should be a fun night. Should be a fun night. I think we're going to chat it up a good bit about, well, some of the most recent news, which a lot of our conversation tonight is probably going to be focused on Spooky and Scooby Doo, and just kind of our thoughts and what we're seeing with the trailer and whatnot. Brooklyn Penn, how you doing? FYI, Shaggy has a real name. Really? Norval Rogers. I did not know that. I did not know that. Vintage Shed, how you doing, guys? So, yes, TPN, we're the Pinball Network. We try to provide you guys with quality, if you want to call it that, quality pinball content on an almost nightly basis. And if you look over here, here's our schedule. Starting on Sunday, Hup Challenge, which is Jordan and Becca. They actually streamed last Sunday, which was fantastic. I'm glad to see that they're back. Hup Challenge, Jordan and Becca on Sundays. Monday nights is Hadi, Frisco Pinball, streaming out of Frisco, Texas. Decent dude. He's all right. And yeah, check out his stream on Monday nights. Tuesday nights, the Pinballers. That's Mike, Lisa, and Carter. Awesome family, awesome players, great collection. They are on Tuesday nights. Here we are on Wednesday night with the Flippin' Out Pinball channel, sponsored by Flippin' Out. So, Mervin, appreciate you, man. Thanks for liking the stream. Yeah, so here we are Wednesday night with Flippin' Out Pinball. Thursday night would be straight down the middle. That's Chuck Wirt. Awesome tournament player, awesome quality player, very cool collection. Followed by George, Don't Panic Flip, another decent streamer. And yeah, he's Thursday nights. Very entertaining, very cool guy. Thursday nights, followed by Jedi McMuffin, which is Tommy, usually sometime over the weekend, typically Saturday nights. And he's been streaming a lot with his neighbor, gets it very social and whatnot. So, yeah, great lineup. But that's the Pinball Network. We do what we do because we like doing it. And we also have some awesome sponsors. We have 8 major sponsors. Comet Pinball for all your LED needs. That's Ryan and his crew. If you need to light anything in a pinball machine, definitely check out Comet Pinball. Balls of Steel, how you doing, man? Sterling, hope you're doing well. I'm at work. We'll have to watch the VOD. Okay, Mervin, yeah. Good luck with your job, man. Measle Mods makes some incredible mods for you to add to almost any pinball machine. If you own a pinball machine, check them out. There's probably something they have that you could add to your game to make it look a little different or more. I don't know. Some people love modding out their games. Other people like it original. Do whatever you need to do, but definitely check out their stuff. Scorebit is Jay and his crew make this awesome product that you can add to literally any pinball machine to help connect it to the internet. Some games have achievements. It's a great way to track your score, compete against your friends, see what their scores are. Very cool device. I actually have it in my TNA. Stern Pinball, makers of some incredible pinball machines, including James Bond, which just came out. I will actually be streaming James Bond tomorrow night on the Flippin' Out Pinball stream, so definitely check that out. I need to cough. All right. Thank God for a mute button. All right. Speaker Light Kit. Doug at Speaker Light Kit. If you look behind me, they're in Turtles. Those are Speaker Light Kits. I have them in both Turtles and Deadpool, and I'm waiting to get a kit to put into Godzilla. An amazing product to just really make that back panel look even better. I'm a huge fan. Doug is a nice dude. I actually met him in person at Cincinnati. Very nice guy, very smart gentleman. If you want to light up your speaker grills, hit him up. Pinball photos, pinball photography. The guy takes some amazing pictures that you can print off different art prints to hang around your arcade or your game room. Really liven up the walls. Really cool stuff. Check out their website. Flippin' Out. Zach and Nicole Flippin' Out. Amazing couple. Awesome people. I am very thankful to stream for them, and I also borrow games from them to do to stream. And I'm currently borrowing James Bond, like I said, and I will be streaming that tomorrow. Jedi McMuffin, Tommy, thanks, man, for complimenting my beard. Appreciate it. Brian Cosner, hello, buddy. And last but not least, Pinmonk Victor is an awesome dude. He creates the silent flipper, the silent fan for you to put in your Stern power supplies, as well as the flipper fans to keep your flippers nice and cool, so that if you're playing for a long extended period of time, your flippers are very consistent throughout the entire time. So there we go. Thank you for our sponsors, and thank you to these 3 other gentlemen who are here tonight to help chat it up. So, Tex, how you doing, buddy? So we're going to work our way around, do our typical introduction. Who are you? What do you do? And what was the last game of pinball you played? So, Hadi, if you want to go for it.
Got it. I am Hadi, Frisco Pinball. The last game that I played was Black Knight Sword of Rage, and it was awesome. It was fun. Fortunately, one of my LED flippers went out, so that wasn't fun. But on stream, so you got a tech stream if you watch this past Monday. I
Like
also played.
it went out like it didn't light up, or it went out like
The
it.
solder came off. I lifted up the connection, and I realized that the solder that connects the wires to go through went off, and so one's lit, one's not lit, but it didn't stop me from enjoying the game.
Got it.
And yeah, that's what I played last. I stream virtual and physical pinball 5 to 6 nights a week, and I just put in a request to buy a Jurassic Park from somebody on Pinside. So hopefully
Nice.
that comes through, and if it doesn't, on to Scooby Doo.
Oh, the L. You're getting an LE, I assume. That's the goal.
I hope so. We'll see. It's got
Nice.
there's no shipping on it, so I'm hoping he'll ship.
Ooh. He's not in Texas, is my guess.
No.
Nice.
No.
All right. Well, Hadi, thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We'll work our way around. George, go for it.
My name is George. I stream normally on Don't Panic Flip, and that is Monday and Tuesday on TPN on Thursdays. Last played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I like pinball.
Turtles is a decent game. I'm a fan. I also know that you also have this topper, George, which I got recently. It was bothering me that, like, you can see Godzilla peeking up out of the corner there. It was bothering me, this blank area here at the top, so I had to do it. That's why, Mike, just don't do it, man. Don't start. Don't start. You know.
Don't plan on it. I don't plan on it.
Because Hadi's hooked. Hadi's hooked. George is hooked. Once you start the toppers, man. Oof. But Tex here fired. We got Iron Maiden last Friday. Iron Maiden's a good game. I know, Mike, you've had Iron Maiden. Have anybody else owned
I do
it?
have an Iron Maiden.
Oh, you still own it, yeah.
Yeah, I still have it, yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. George, you owned one for a little while?
Yeah, I had a Pro for just shy of, I think, a year. Ended up trading it out temporarily with Colorado Pinball. So that was Snow and Paul. Can't remember what I had in from them during that time. Got rid of it and then traded Godzilla LE for roughly about 3 months for an Iron Maiden LE and had that in-house and re-fell in love with the game.
Nice.
And yeah, very fun.
Yeah, that Keith guy's decent. He's pretty good at designing stuff. So nice. Well, George, thanks, man. Thanks for being here, and thanks for not wearing a hat. You know, I really appreciate that. The hair looks great. I'm glad you're showing it off. Mike and I need haircuts, and Hadi, I still picture you with those long locks you used to have. I miss them. Yeah, but yeah, thanks for being here, George. What do we got? Sterling said, "Oh, you're getting an SD, so you're talking about standard. You're talking about." Scooby Doo. Yeah, I think we're going to talk a little bit about Scooby Doo today, so it should be a good time. But Mike, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you. Well, I'm Mike, and I stream on Pinballers on Twitch and on Tuesday evenings here on TPN as well. We are in the middle of doing some tournament streams, so you guys can catch that. We had one on Saturday that you can check the VOD for, and we're doing another one this Saturday, so you can check that out too. Last game I played was Guardians of the Galaxy. We streamed it yesterday, but I also played some of it today. It's currently the game that's Stern is holding the leaderboard competition for on Insider Connected. So I'm trying to put up some good scores, but I have it set up fairly difficult for our tournaments, so I'm having a tough time putting up some decent scores on it. I think I'm like 30th now after maybe 3 or 4 tries. So I'm gonna play a little bit until the 15th and see if I can get in the top 5 or 10 on the leaderboards.
Nice.
It's always fun to do those, right? Like just, you know, it's I'm a competitive guy, so I like to try and put up some good scores, and we'll see.
My pinball playing and leaderboard typically don't mix, so I'm happy for you that you can put your name on a leaderboard, but no, that's great. I know you and Carter, your son, are fantastic players. So that's really cool that you can not only compete in your basement, but also against others in the world. So that's really neat.
that's a really cool feature about I like the fact, you know, they run a different game every twice a month. They do usually one from the 1st to the 15th, and then one from the 16th to the end of the month. And
Nice.
it just so happens to be Guardians now, so we're gonna try and put up some scores. But like I said, I have my out lanes posts all the way to the top, and it's been waxed and tight tilts and everything because we're having tournaments. So it is playing a little tough, but I like it that way. It makes it a little more challenging. So we'll see what kind of scores we can put up.
Very cool. Jedi's pointing out I'm still ahead of Joel on the TNA leaderboard. Yeah. Are you? I'm assuming you are. Yeah, I was for a long time, and then Tommy took over. But no, it's all good. Scrappy Doo. I've heard Scrappy Doo. They have no intention of putting Scrappy Doo, or currently have no intention of putting Scrappy Doo in the game. I see that in chat. And Sterling there with Balls of Steel. He said he locked in a Canyon SE. So that's awesome, man. New pinball machine coming your way is always a good time. And yeah, my name's Joel. I do the Triple Drain Pinball podcast, and then I also stream for Flipping Out and do these things every Wednesday night. And the last game of pinball I played is actually Bond. I have a James Bond sitting right there. I'll be streaming it tomorrow night. I'm kind of nervous. Nervous to stream it, to be honest. The code it's something. It's something. I crashed it earlier, and I don't know, man. It's early. It's early on in the game, and so we're gonna dive in tomorrow. I should probably learn a little. Like, I know how to start. It's clear that there's going to be a bunch of modes. There's weapon modes, villain modes, henchman modes. There's the Q tool mode. Like, there's a bunch of different modes, but just trying to figure them all out. And I don't know. We're diving in together. We're diving in together for sure. But before,
what would you say the percentage of the code is on that, or the percentage of what's in the game?
0.7.
There's a lot of stuff missing in the game, right? Like, there's modes and everything missing. I haven't had a chance to play one, so I'm interested to find out how far along the code is in the game.
Well, that's 0.7. It's 70% of the code, but whether or not that's actually all the doesn't mean there's 70% of the modes. Like, there's clearly a lot of you start up the game and there's a disclaimer on the bottom that says, some of these clips are still under license or review,
approval.
So there's not a ton of music in it, but yet George on different podcasts has said they have access to a lot of different music. So there's nothing but potential there, is what I'm saying. So the goal tomorrow is really just show off the shots and whatnot. I will say, though, my brother was over here, and my brother's a huge fan of Deadpool, and he's playing Bond, and he played 2 games and had zero fun. He had no fun. And he's like, what is going on in this game? He was not hitting any shot that he wanted to hit. And he's like, isn't the really good guy the guy that designed this? And I said, what do you mean? The guy that designed Godzilla? I said, Elwin? I said, no, that's the 60th anniversary. This is the main Bond game. This is made by George Gomez. And he kind of looks at me. I was like, George Gomez did Deadpool. And he goes, how did that guy make this? And he pointed to Bond. And I was like, I don't know, Jared. But he's not really into pinball. And I mean, I definitely see similarities in the layout and whatnot. So we'll see. Tomorrow should be a very interesting stream. And I hope over the course of the next month or two that I have it, there are continual updates so that we can kind of work through that together, kind of thing like that.
Yeah, that seems to be a problem with, for example, he said he didn't like the game. Well, that could just be a code thing, right? I mean, the code is so early, he may not enjoy it because of the code.
Yeah.
So that can be a detriment to releasing a game so early or with such an early code, is actually turning people off from maybe
100%.
Buying the game when they otherwise would.
You can only make one first impression, and a novice that steps up to this on location has no idea the game's not complete. Has no idea.
Right.
Yeah. George, you were going to say something.
Just a quick clarification about the versioning. I'm kind of assuming that Stern is following semantic versioning, which would be the first number is major, and also at 1.0 denotes the fact that it's production ready. The second one is a minor update. The third is a patch, and the fourth represents build. So assuming they're following semantic versioning in that pattern, the 0.7 doesn't have any relation to percent completion. It's just tracking with the note that 1.0, when they hit that 1.0, it means that it has all features and it's ready for production release.
That's the one thing they have said. 1.0 means if there's an insert on the play field we've made something for the insert, or we've made the wizard mode. Like 1.0 is future complete, but I think I don't know if 0.70 represents 70%. I don't know. But we'll see. There's clearly more that needs to happen in there. I hope they do a code update in the next couple of days. Yes, that's something we talked about on Triple Drain, that there's a lot of launch parties scheduled over the next few weeks. And like we were saying, you only get one first impression. So you don't want some of these launch parties to be so, like, I don't know. Well, we will see. We will see. Another thing I would love everybody to see, actually, is this freaking shirt right here. So this shirt is not tie-dye. This shirt, and I'm going to show this thing right here. This is on Double Danger Pinball, ddpinball.com. ddpinball.com. They just put it up here. It's a TNA shirt. As people know, I love TNA. George loves TNA. But I saw this. They printed this years ago, and it was out of stock. It was out of stock when I got my TNA. I reached out to the people that run this, and I was like, "You going to reprint this?" And they're like, "Well, we're actually out of shirts," because these shirts are special. They come like the fabric's special. Well, when they remade TNA, I emailed them again. I said, "I think this is the perfect time for you to reprint this shirt." And they responded like, "You're right." And they did it. So they reprinted the shirt, and this shirt is temperature sensitive. So if I took off my hoodie, this whole thing would turn purple. And it's just crazy. Like, it's crazy how it works. And I'm a big fan of it. So where do you get it? You get it on DD Pinball right here. It's right at the top. DD Pinball, which is doubledangerpinball.com. So anything, I will promote anything TNA related. But I'm a fan. I thought I was like, this shirt's going to be purple, and then my armpits are going to be pink. Like, that's what I thought this whole shirt was going to be. But it really, I don't know, man. It works. Like, it really changes up as the day goes, and you walk outside and it turns purple, and it's like, if I take my hoodie off. Huh?
Did you have one as a kid? I had a hypercolor sweatshirt as a kid one time.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
it was like a spaceship technology to everybody.
There you go. So this shirt, it's pretty pink right now, but if I sit here with no hoodie on, it'll slowly turn purple. And what's crazy though is, like, if you cough on your shoulder, then like your shoulder's all red, so or pink. So it kind of really shows how, like, when you cough or sneeze, like how far that goes, because the whole shirt will turn pink or red.
You can tell when you have a cold heart too. It looks like you have a cold heart.
Yeah, it's nice, and yeah.
Hey, there you go.
I need a little more. I need a little
Joel
more,
and his cold heart.
a little more blood flow right there. Yeah, but that
How
was
does the text? Really quick question, because I was thinking about buying it. How does the texture compare to Tri-Blend?
I mean, it's
Like, is
cotton.
it
It's cotton.
Oh God, no. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, man. I know you're all. It's a sturdy but soft, 100% cotton.
Tri-Blend
I would say
proves
it's
the
not.
light.
It's not as it's softer than like a Hanes 100% cotton shirt. It is softer than that, and it is thinner than that. But Tri-Blend is Tri-Blend. We all know. So, but it's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. To be honest, George, they make kid sizes. Like, get your daughter one, because I think she would enjoy. It. I'm enjoying it. So I've been wearing this all day, and it's just funny. Like, yeah, just seeing how much it changes. But anyways, that's enough of that. That's it. I know there was a comment on the last video that they're like, "Man, I feel like all you did last video was tell us all the stuff you were just shilling for 2 hours." And I commented on the YouTube video. I was like, that was the goal. Like, we were talking about things you can buy because it's Black Friday and Christmas is coming up and all that. Pinball Eddie, how's the sizing? This is an XL. It's maybe a tiny bit small. And that's the thing that, like, I'm comfortable in it. If it was up to me, it would be a little baggier, would be nice. So I don't know. Maybe order a size up if you like a looser fit. But George, I know he's swole, so he likes it. He likes it
Show
tight.
the gun.
He likes it tight. But
Like
all
the
right,
tight-fitting shirts for the svelte body.
yeah, it's not his fault they're tight. It's just he's just so big, you know.
It's not my fault.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
The gym's fault.
All right. Well, let's dive in. So, what are we talking about tonight? We are going to talk for sure about Scooby Doo. We're talking about Scooby Doo. We're talking about Spooky Pinball. But I wanted to lead off here saying Cincinnati. I went to Cincinnati, which is a show in Cincinnati. I went there over the weekend, and the Spooky guys were there, and they had a booth. And to be honest, I have said some negative things about Halloween in the past between the podcast and the stream and whatnot. And the reality was, every time I've played Halloween or Ultraman, I would hit that center ramp. It would go almost all the way up. Like, it would pop up, I could see it, and then it would just go right back down the ramp. And it was just like these center ramp rejects. Boom, boom. What do we Les? Wow, what a good show. I know this is going to be. I was looking for Pinball show that I could watch in the back room. There you go. As I do my homework. Good luck with your homework, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. So I've never been able to experience the butt pretzel on Halloween. Never, because the center ramp rejects over and over and over again. I know I watched George's unboxing of Ultraman and watched his brand new Ultraman center reject the whole time. And so it's just, to me, I'm like, I don't care if you tell me this game's amazing and the code is so good. I haven't been able to see an ounce of the code because I can't hit the shots. Like, the shots don't work. So they were there, and I bring that up because I know I've said a lot of this publicly, and I don't know. To me, I was like, Luke, Bug, they're all there. I was like, I don't know if they know who I am. I don't know if they know that I've said negative stuff about their game. I don't know, but I don't want to piss them off. I have no urge to do that. But right next to the booth, they had a Halloween and they had an Ultraman. I played both. Both of them rejected the whole time. And I'm like, okay, I've tried again. So I'm at the show, and I go and I see Chuck Wirt. Chuck Wirt is one of the guys that was running Cincinnati. He does the Straight Down the Middle podcast. I mentioned it to him. I was like, dude, I'm trying, man. I tried another Halloween and it fails. Like, and he goes, back here we have a hospitality room. One of the local collectors is like a competitive player. He brought his Halloween, which he's dialed in. He's like, come play his. I was like, deal, sign me up. Because I've had people email me like, you've got to play one that's dialed in. You've got to do it. Like, you've got to play one that's not on location. So I did. I went to the hospitality room. I played one that was dialed in. I don't know what he did, but the game actually worked. Like, the balls, I hit the center ramp. It actually went up. I actually experienced the butt pretzel. I actually experienced modes. I was actually able to see parts of the game. It was back in a separate room, so I could actually hear the game. And so I understand it now. Do I still feel like it's a good shooting game? No. But have I experienced the immersion that people are talking about, the sound package, the light show? Have I seen some of the modes? Yes. So I would say now that I've played one that's somewhat dialed in, my view of it has improved, or at least I understand why some people like it the way they do. But it's unfortunate that I think I've probably played 6 or 7 Halloweens at this point, and only one of them has played well, which kind of sucks. So, good on them. Now, George, I know you had an Ultraman. Were you ever able to like dial yours in or get yours working? I mean, yes.
Yeah.
So, what did you do to get that? Like, because I know the middle ramp was a struggle bus when you unboxed that game. How did you improve that when you owned it?
So there was issues with the ball getting stuck in the third upper playfield. And in addition, I was getting some rejects down that center ramp. I think the directions in the game say to pitch it at 6.5 degrees. And I think I put it at like 7.2 or something like that. And so I just dropped it down to 6.5. It got really floaty. So I think it was a lot less fun, but I was able to make the majority of the shots, but never got around the fact that the ball often got hung up on a missed butt pretzel loop up at the top, and you sometimes had to nudge or tilt yourself out to get the ball moving again.
Yeah.
So the layout by the end of it wasn't the thing that bothered me. I think it was just the lack of software and knowing that they had just one developer doing 2 sets of software. I didn't buy the game with the intention of keeping it for 2 or 3 years to wait for the software package to hit a point where it was going to be really enjoyable. So that fueled getting rid of it sooner, I think, than I would have liked. I still think Ultraman may go up in price again, but I think you can get a new in box right now somewhere between 6 and 7K. And
Yeah.
when it's new in box at like 9.5, 10 shipped.
Yeah. So Morgoth is saying the same thing. It's you have to adjust the diverter at the top of the ramp. So I at this point, now that I felt like I had something positive that I could say about Halloween, I actually approached Bug and Luke. And I talked to them and I introduced myself and I said, "Hey, I just want to let you know I've really had a lot of hard time, like a really hard time playing Halloween and Ultraman at multiple locations, even these two machines. And I've always had issues with the center ramp." And they kind of were like, "Yeah, we've heard people say that." They said there was definitely a period of time in the factory where we were like, when we started, the center ramp was never a problem on that game. But as we got further in production, we started to notice the center ramp, or people were complaining about the center ramp. And they said they're planning on adding in adjustments for the diverter, like in the code. So you can like get that dialed in exactly right. So like we know that's a thing, and we're trying to adjust, like account for that in the code. And they're like, we have full intentions of continuing to work on the code for at least another year. And then I told them about the hospitality room. I was like, you should go back in there and play the one in there. I don't know what they did. And they're like, that's a good idea. We probably should play it. But they were very nice. But to go one step further, at Cincinnati, they had playfields. They had printed playfields like behind them. And I saw that they had a printed TNA playfield. And I said, "Are you selling those?" And they said, "Absolutely." And they said, these are ones with slight minor defects. And I said, "Okay. Here's the deal. I have my original run TNA had pooling. It had chipping around a few posts. And that was a known thing. There was a known period of time that had that on those playfields. So when I got it, I noticed that I emailed Spooky. They sent me out a washer kit. And I said, what would it cost for a playfield? Well, at the time, I mean, TNA was done, but they had a few. They said $400. $400 was a playfield. I was like, I hesitated. I didn't do it. Fast forward a few years, they're doing the remakes now. So I was like, they're printing these right now. I wonder what a playfield is. So I email them, $500. $500 for a brand new playfield plus shipping plus tax. It was going to be $600 something. So when I saw them there at Cincinnati, I was like, no shipping, no tax. Let's see what this is about. I said, how much are these? $250. $250. I was like, that sounds great. So they showed me there's a tiny scratch in the upper corner. Like you wouldn't even see it. I was like, awesome, $250. They're handing me the playfield. I was like, this is awesome. I've actually had quotes on these before because I have one of the early models that had chipping and pooling. And Luke looks at me and goes, oh, you already, like, you have an early model one? I said, yeah. And he goes, and it has chipping on it? I said, yeah. He goes, just take it.
Wow.
Yeah, just take it.
Nice.
And he's like, and I said, are you serious? And he goes, yeah, if it's wrong, like, here, fix your game, basically. And I was like, well, I got quotes on these in the past. He's like, we should have never given you quotes. We should have sent you one, 2 years ago. And I'm not the original buyer. Like, that's the thing. I'm just the current owner of it. So to me, what I would say is I walked in to Cincinnati, like, I knew Spooky was there, and I wanted to play a Halloween, but I don't want to piss him off. And I walked away actually having a great conversation with him. They showed up and I think that's awesome from a support standpoint, backing their product. And then we talked about the Spooky reveal for a little while. So I would say as of right now, I ended up buying a shirt. I was like, I got to buy something. So I bought a Spooky t-shirt. So it's like, I still think they're a good company. So I think they are. I think they care. There's no denying that. I think they care about their product, and I think they care about. It's because I'm charming. Yeah, it was the beard. Yeah, but they both were like, neither of them said anything like, "Oh, I've seen your stream," or "I've heard your podcast," or I don't know. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But I don't think it was I think they were just being genuine, which was really appreciated. So well done, Spooky and Bug. It was great meeting you guys and talking to you guys. But that's my little spooky, I don't know, backstory. But George, I don't know if you want to talk more about you bought an Ultraman new, and it was kind of a ride for you. So this is something that the only reason I want to talk about this now is because we're kind of experiencing again. Like there's a reveal that just happened, and there's a lot of people that are ready to just dive in. And we're not telling you not to, but it's just like, we've done this before. And George, you've kind of experienced this. So I don't know. If you want to share your experience, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, so about the customer service, Spooky's customer service is the most fantastic I've come across. It's I've had TNA, Rick and Morty, and then Ultraman. And anytime there's an issue, I haven't been charged for anything, and they've 2-day shipped me replacement parts, including an entirely new amplifier 2 years after I bought the game, well after I think the standard 1-year warranty on parts. They're just like, here, take it. I
Yeah.
have no idea who I am. Like they stand by their product, and that is huge. I love that about Spooky. So on the other side of things, I don't know if I've explained this before, but something that really bothered me that got me to go from Apple to Android was this. I felt like I was being gaslighting. Um, I think I'm using that term correctly. I only found out about it recently, but it felt like with every software release on my Apple iPhone, my phone was slowing down, and it was becoming more and more frustrating to use my phone. So I caught myself a couple times thinking about, I think I should upgrade. And I had this weird thought, like, are they purposefully slowing the operating system down with every new upgrade? Because I don't understand why the phone would get slower. I didn't install any additional apps. I didn't do anything, but it's like substantially more hesitant to do stuff. And then to find out it was, I think about 3 or 4 years ago, that there's this massive lawsuit. They were purposefully slowing down the software. They called it for, there was some justification as to why they were doing it, but at the end of the day, they were pushing for people to, planned obsolescence.
Yeah. The argument was that they know the older tech probably can't run the newer OS, so they purposely, they wanted.
It was elongating battery. They were slowing down the operating system to extend the battery life of the phone.
There we go. Because they know the battery is not as good on the older phones. Yeah.
So this has a point that relates to to Spooky. My issue is that I made the purchase of a sight unseen game, be it Ultraman, because I had such great experiences with Spooky, and they had made so many promises they had started fulfilling on Rick and Morty, and the fact that Scott Denisi, who's just maybe one of the coolest people I've ever met, was working with them, and things seemed to be going so great. Exactly, TNA on that, and there was just so much positive vibes, and I had so many great experiences. I purchased that sight unseen, not knowing that they had completely restructured their software and internal design. I think shortly following up that, or maybe it was just before, without realizing the significance, they were no longer working directly, I think, with Scott, and they were no longer working with
Bowen.
Bowen.
Yep.
Bowen, who I think turned the catastrophe that was Alice Cooper into something kind of enjoyable. It's something I look for now. I don't like the layout, but the rule set on Alice Cooper is somewhat enjoyable at this point. So it kind of felt like I had the rug pulled out from under me after the purchase, and when I finally got the game to see to realize how far they had to go, and the fact that they had one developer who was having to do 2 different sets of software, and I didn't have access, I don't know, 6 or 9 months after release, to something simple like turning off the shaker motor because it was waking up my kid at night, and I stream at night. So, and you'd go in there and try to adjust the settings so that way it wasn't super loud. Like if I couldn't turn it off because there was no setting there for it, I was trying to turn it down. It didn't listen to those settings. It was just as loud as it was before. And then of course, once again, I like to go quickly through my pinball machines. Was I willing to wait maybe 2 years at the cadence that they were releasing updated software to get to a point where I felt like I was really getting the level of enjoyment I thought I was going to get early on, especially with something like Rick and Morty. Like out of the gate, I really enjoyed Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
My only issue is that I felt like the wizard mode was unsatisfying. I enjoyed the layout. I loved the license. All of it was really cool. So that is, I think, really what kind of got me. And then I lost a bunch of money on it on top of that. And I got out before
it was crazy.
Everyone else. Yeah. Now you can't get rid of that game. It sits there for weeks at 6,500. And that's at a $3,000 loss after new unbox and shipping. And there's a reason for that. I understand that there are some diehard fans, and there's some people out there who are really enjoying it right now, who've made that commitment. So this is by no means saying something negative to them, but that is that's, I guess, where I stand right now with Spooky, and I'm trying desperately not to pull that into their newest, most amazing license they have.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I don't blame you. You were burned on what you took a gamble, and you were burned. But it's an interesting thought. I mean, you go back to Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty sold out without gameplay. Like it was sight unseen, and people loved them and were clamoring for them. And I know they had some layout or adjustment issues that a lot of people tinkered and really adapted. At least some of the early run ones were working on it. And then now a Rick and Morty, you could sell a Rick and Morty for $1,000 or $2,000 more than what you bought it for. While you're saying, you know, the very next year they come out with Ultraman and Halloween, and you're saying there's people that can't give them, like they can't give away their pre-order spot. And I get it. So
it's interesting because here in Canada, we do have a handful of them for sale right now, and they're not 65 US. Like a Halloween's still gonna cost, like there's one just posted over the last couple of days. Now I know it's an asking price, but I believe a couple have sold near the price, and it's about 13,500 Canadian. I don't know what that works out to be in the exchange, but
it's like $4 or $5.
there's they're still pretty pricey here in Canada. I know there's a gentleman who sold a Ultraman, and I think the Ultraman is actually commanding a little bit more money just based on you know, the artwork being more favorable and whatnot. So I don't know. The market's a little different here in Canada.
Yeah,
But
definitely different. But I don't know. It's just we're about to. I mean, we're about to dive into all this, and don't get me wrong. Like the hype train's real. The hype train's real. There's a lot about this game that looks really cool, but it's crazy to me, and that's why I was kind of putting the pause, because it's like time out, because Pinside or anything else that you read about Spooky Halloween Ultraman for months now has been just like slightly negative or has a negative tone. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been burned. There's a lot of conversation of like, do you think Spooky's really hurt themselves, and do you think they're going to struggle to sell out the next game sight unseen because they'll probably get a good theme, it'll probably have a great art package, but if they can't back up that it's going to shoot well, if they can't back up that the code's going to be good, are people going to commit? Are people going to dive in? And I'm reading all this and I'm thinking about it and I'm talking about it. And then this reveal happens and you start reading Pinside and people are like, where do I buy? How do I do this? Where do I blah, blah, blah. It's just like, okay, like, we'll forget that. And we're, and nobody wants to be left behind. The hype train is Hadi's ready. He's ready to buy.
It's FOMO, man.
Yeah.
It's FOMO. They're worried about missing out. They're only making like 1,600 or 1,969.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't know if that's a lot or not. I mean, barely any companies show how many production models they make of games anymore. I'm looking at you, Stern. But I don't know if that's a lot or not.
Well, I mean, obviously the TNA remake, it was 250 and it hasn't sold out. So it just depends. I mean, I would say it's a decent amount. I don't think that's a small amount of games. What was it? Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses had, I don't remember what
they were supposed to make 5,000 LEs
5,000
of the GNR.
Yeah.
I don't think they got there, but I think they were supposed to be. I think they announced that they were doing 5,000 LEs.
What about so Halloween and Ultraman was 1,500. Now Rick and Morty
1,500 each or 1,500 total
combined. It was 1,050, or was it 17? It's something, yeah. But and then remember Rick and Morty was 750. So it's
TNA was 500, right? And then whatever they did with this newest run.
And then they're saying 250, but they haven't sold out. But you say that though, it's like every LE, like what was Godzilla LE was like 1,000. Those are gone. Like most LEs gone. So I don't know.
They didn't sell out of the Beatles. They made 1964, very close to the 1969, and I don't believe they sold out of those Beatles either. And Beatles is a good game. It's regarded as a good game too. Yeah. So
I don't think it's a small amount, but so that's the thing. If it sells out, if almost 2,000 games sell out within the day, or 5 hours, I mean, it's and that was the thing. There's been a lot of discussion. It's like that's what happened with Halloween and Ultraman. And it's like, do you blame Spooky? Like, they made whatever, do the math. I'm not going to even try to do math ever again on a podcast or on a stream. But I mean, it's like millions of dollars that they get in non-refundable deposits day one, and then they just keep making their games. So Frank keeps saying if Spooky cares, it would show gameplay. I agree that customers deserve it. It would be nice. It would be nice. Nobody would complain about seeing gameplay before. Nobody would complain about that. But does Spooky have to do that? No. Spooky doesn't
they
have
have
to
one day to do it because orders open up on Friday. So
Spooky doesn't have to do it at all. I mean,
No.
think even Bond. Bond was on sale before Jack Danger streamed it. I mean, it's
in this market, there's no
Yeah.
incentive to show gameplay.
No.
It is going to sell out if you have a decent theme and you have people with expendable income. It's a perfect storm for them because it was such a lackluster year in new pins as far as new announcements. So now you have a clunky Bond release that's still trying to find its way, and you have a theme that everybody knows and loves for the demographic of the pinball crowd. And yes, it's funny that the change in tone from 2 weeks ago on Spooky, everybody agrees they have amazing customer service, but man, it was not a good release for Halloween and Ultraman. But then you get a fun theme like this with a colorful layout and something that people can, sort of relate to, and boom, there you go. Friday, they're going to sell a lot of CEs, and they don't need to show gameplay, which is crazy because, you get a car, you go for a test drive. Here, you got to just pray that it's not broken and that you're going to have fun with it if you're going to try to get in early.
Well, and I mean, if you're an LE buyer at Stern, you're going to wait a few months, but then Stern knocks them all out. But like with Halloween or Ultraman or this, it's a list, it's an order. So you got to hop on there early, or you may be 6 months, 8 months, a year before you see your game, but you still have to do the non-refund. So it's a rush. What is Zach saying here? I get the code side of things, but do people really struggle to look at detailed pics and gameplay sizzle and question what the game is or shoots like? A little bit. I mean, we have no idea how floaty or fast this game is. We have no idea.
It's a wide body.
I agree, because I mean, you can look at the play field, you can look at the sizzle reel, and you can see the shots and say, oh well, this might be a good shooting game, but that's only half of it, right? I mean, there's code involved in that too, right? You can have a game that shoots great, but if the code is terrible, let's use Bond for example right now. Right? The code right now is not very good, so a lot of people are, waiting for the code. So while the game may shoot well, it's a matter of we need to see the code too. Like I want, there was issues with the code for Halloween and Ultraman. So I mean, me personally, I'm waiting to see. I would like to see more of the game before I would commit to it, but I'm not everybody. It's a great theme. This is a top tier theme to me, but again, just with the history of their last release, I need to see more personally.
So. I totally get it, and it's weird if we compare it to Stern, because if you're an LE buyer, you better hope you're on a list before the game's even hinted at, and then come a video like this, you're going to be getting called or text from your distributor like, you in or out. Like, you have to make a decision before gameplay is shown, and they're going to sell out. Like, the LEs sell out. That's just how it works. But if you're a premium or a pro buyer, sure, we can wait 6 months. We can wait a year and a half, 2 years. It doesn't matter, because once, like, you can hop on then. Like, but you can't really do that with Spooky because of that wait list, that order list. It's just, you're going to wait a long time if they're even still available, which is kind of crazy. Chat's going nuts here. I'm glad. Go ahead, George.
I was going to say, two really good examples of needing to see gameplay that you couldn't figure out ahead of time by just looking at the playout would be specifically Halloween.
Yep.
And the fact that the ball hits that weird subway and it slows down gameplay drastically before it hits the flipper. Like that was really frustrating every time I played. Yeah, it's a weird elevator mechanic, and you don't know that that's there. And I'm going to say the same thing about Bond in a very different way, in that I was just kind of bored of the layout. I think looked good, and knowing that it was George Gomez, I was expecting something interesting and cool. And after playing it, or after seeing a lot of gameplay, I wasn't wowed by it, and I would not have expected that by just looking at the playfield.
I agree, and that's something when I stream it tomorrow night, I want to show off the game for what it is, and I'm talking about Bond. I want to show off the shots, but the code, I don't feel like I'm showing anything off yet. Like if an LE buyer is waiting on their LE, I hope they see that and they see the layout and the code or the shots, and I hope they were like, yeah, that looks great, I'm in. Or I don't, they may be like, that layout's not. Maybe I'm out. I don't know.
See the potential in it, perhaps, right? I mean.
Zach had a good point here. He just said games will always be available, even if it's pre-owned. It's 2,000. There's 2,000 games. That's a good point. Really, the question or the discussion we're having is, are you going to get in on the actual price? Or, like Hadi's looking to he's trying to buy a Jurassic Park LE.
Am I going to get in the pinball market 2 years too late when Stranger Things are going for 9,000 for the LE, and now they're 18,000? It's like, I would rather get in at MSRP. And with the thing with the spooky pin, with Halloween and Ultraman, I always look at the secondhand market, and it's George is right. You can't get rid of these right now on an instant basis like other titles. So Scooby Doo, I think they'll have an easier time if you're gonna turn around and flip it someday, and won't lose too much money. It just depends on the QC control, though. Is it going to shoot well, and isn't it going to break on you?
Yeah.
I really hope they get that right, because man, they have a lot of goodwill to earn again. And they could really do that with this title. It speaks to a lot of people, and I saw it, and I was like, maybe I should join the fan club. But man, it is a fun-looking shooter. I love the art on it, but we'll get to more of that, obviously.
Yeah, they definitely did the right thing by going with the original art as opposed to some of the newer stuff. More, I guess it's more kid type stuff.
Yeah.
With Turtles, I wanted them to go to like the comic book Turtles. I don't know if many people are familiar with the comic book Turtles. I understand why they went with that cartoon, because that's probably the most popular iteration of it. But I wanted it to be darker and go towards the more comic book style of Turtles. But
it would have been interesting if they would have done like an LE. Like the LE is, I don't know. To me, that is Turtles. Like that era, that is the Turtles that I connect with. But
and most people do. Yeah, most people do.
But I know, and a lot of people have said it, the issues with this game is this game looks like it's a game that's family friendly, but until you play it. And as an adult, it kicks my butt. So it's not like it's inappropriate. It's just a freaking hard game. So, well, here's the deal. We've got a lot of Scooby Doo to talk about, but I just saw the time. So let's go ahead and watch that video that everybody loves. Let's go ahead and knock this out. And then we're coming back. Pinmonk is already all over it. No! So here we go. Speaking of our amazing sponsors, Pinmonk included. This is a 3-minute video. Go grab a drink, get whatever you need, or watch it, enjoy it. Keep the chat going, and then we're going to dive in. We're going to watch a spooky video, start looking at pictures. Pinmonk, I would love to not do it, but you need to get all 7 other sponsors to tell me not to do it. So, all right. So let's watch this, and we'll be right back.
Your pinball machine deserves the best. At Comet Pinball, you'll find the best variety of LED products with the best quality LEDs, and most importantly, at the best price. Your collection is begging for an upgrade. Order yours now at cometpinball.com.
Scorbit is excited to announce Achievements, the latest in an amazing series of features available to thousands of connected pinball machines around the world. Achievements are part of Scorebit's free open platform. Scorebit already supports hundreds of pinball machines from the 1970s to today. Give your games new life by connecting them to the Scorebit platform and the universe of applications for pinball machines.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for everybody that stayed with us, or if you grabbed a drink or anything. Thanks for coming back. Yeah, this is the Pinball Network. Here's our schedule. We'll blow through this real quick. Hub Challenge on Sunday, Frisco, which is Hadi on Monday. The Pinballers, Mike, Lisa, and Carter on Tuesday. Here we are flipping out on Wednesday. Straight down the middle, Chuck Wirt Thursday, and then followed by George on Panda Flip, who's also on, and then Jedi McMuffin, who should be in chat. So it should be a good time. Looks like Ray Day's in chat, so feel free to tell him the rush code sucks. And then, yeah, they're awesome. People are great. Everybody's here. I just got some awesome TPN hat and beard, and oh yeah, hey yeah, I did see Ray Day. And, yeah, I like Ray. Ray's pretty great. Here's our speaking of great. Yes, here are our amazing sponsors. We just saw their video. Common Pinball, all your LED needs. Muso Mods, awesome mods. Scorebit, connect your pin to the internet. Stern Pinball makes some great games, employs some great people like Ray Day. Pinmonk, who's in chat, he loves that commercial. If you need a fan to cool your flippers or your power supply, hit him up. Zach with Flipping Out, if you need a new, used, any pinball machine. If you want to buy as a Scooby Doo, reach out to Zach. He has an allotment of a few. And then pinball photos to decorate your arcade room, and speaker light kits, which you can see behind me right here. They look awesome. They're great. My shirt still is great. Not a sponsor. DD Pinball, Double Danger Pinball. I just really like this shirt because look at this thing. Look at this thing. It's temperature changing. It's awesome. All right, enough of that. Let's do it, guys. Let's do what we do best, which is look at Nap Arcade. Let's just go ahead and start with the video. I'm going to pause it. It'll probably be very annoying. I'm going to leave the sound off so we don't get in trouble. But I'm assuming everybody in chat's already seen this video. This is the teaser trailer video. But basically, if any of you guys see something we want to look at, let's do it. But we'll just start right off the bat here. Those are some inserts right there. Those are some inserts right there in the middle. So it looks like I'm seeing 7 villains. Those are 7 villains, and I'm seeing the 5 spooky members. They did talk about how this game you can play up to 5 player, which is pretty cool.
One.
And then when you log in, it looks like you probably select a character. So I'll be curious if the characters have perks, kind of like how like Turtles has perks. I don't like Pirates of the Caribbean has perks. So I'll be very curious how that works. Other things that you can see in this 720 is as big as we can go. All right. Apparently that's what we're getting. Here's these 2 rows of drop targets. I remember seeing that it was like double, triple drop targets. I was curious what that is. So Mike, you had mentioned this earlier. So there's a set of drop targets right here with nothing behind it, and then those are actually covering this VUC.
So they almost, when they're up like that, looks like they create some sort of like almost like a guide lane towards either the in lane or even possibly the out lane.
Oh, like if a ball got behind it.
Yeah, like if it got behind those drops, I don't know where it's headed, but it looks like it. I don't know. Is there 3 out lanes? Is there 2 out lanes and then
there's 2 out lanes on the out lanes?
It looks like it's angling towards the out lane.
We'll look at the overhead picture and we'll definitely look at that. Zach, come on, no one can deny. This game looks great. I'm trying to point out things that I'm seeing here. So it looks like 7. I don't know if those would be modes. Honest question: what are Bug's credentials to be this high level of designer? I mean, his credentials are he already did a game, so this is game number 2. I don't know. He works at a pinball company.
It feeds that VUC behind the drop targets, the red one.
This one, it'll feed. Yes, so it looks like you're gonna have, and all of these have the Scooby snack. So I think this deals with the Scooby snack. So bop bop bop, and then it looks like it hides this VUC. And I think that left one there, and maybe we're just gonna be going back and forth here all night. I think that left one you can see here. I think it feeds this. So that's how you lock down here in the apron lock.
Okay, yeah. There's 2 apron locks.
Bug did stay at a Holiday Inn Express recently, so thank you, Pinball.
That's a good throwback.
Yeah. So yes, okay, so let's talk about that. You were talking about that, Mike. So you're saying let's get a nice. Let's do a nice. What are we doing? Like a purple.
Okay, so it looks like.
So if a ball comes down here,
it's gonna bounce
behind those drops. I don't think it's gonna squeeze. If it squeezes through, it's gonna go straight down, probably in lane. Otherwise, it's gonna bounce. It can't. I hope it doesn't get caught.
What happens if all those? Yeah, what happens if all those drop
caught.
Targets are up and the ball falls down there? Is there an opto that'll maybe drop the bottom drop target and then the ball will nicely feed that in lane?
Looks like it's aiming for in lane, but might out lane a hair. I doubt there's an opto there. We'd probably see it in the video, but I would hope this is enough to roll through. And the angle that it would possibly roll through,
it's gonna go.
We're gonna hope in lane. Yeah. But if that becomes a frustration of roll through, hit that, and go blap,
or you're going to have the game at a specific pitch or dialed in properly. Yeah. It's going to be another center lane gate or center ramp gate like Halloween.
It does have a path built in there, so pull ball back towards. Yes, you would hope it would hit roll this and then go that way. But you see, I don't know if you agreed that it says rut row. So double out lane, rut row. I thought that was kind of creative. But yeah, that's an interesting. I never thought about it rolling behind these drop targets and then going through. So
one of those has to be a ball save out lane, I would imagine.
I mean, maybe you can flip between. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rut row. I don't know. I thought that's pretty great. That makes me laugh. Okay. So what else do we got here? One thing I was noticing is, and we can, well, first off, we're going to talk about this gate later. They added a gate right here. It's not in the video because that right there is the back of the coil stop for the upper flipper. But they added a gate there since this video has been made. So major shots, it looks like we have a left orbit. I don't know if that goes around or the upper playfield. I don't know, but it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, right up the middle, 4, 5, 6, 7 major shots. I feel like I've heard from somewhere like 7 is arguably the number of shots you can kind of fit on a standard body game. I think I heard that from somewhere. Maybe I'm making it up.
Yeah, the shots do look pretty open. They're not tight, so
especially this up the middle. And I don't know. That's the thing. Some of these shots, I don't know where they go. I think this shot right here, this ramp with the spinner, I think it actually feeds this blue, or no, the green, this green habit trail, I think is what that feeds. But this left shot, I don't know if that goes up top. I don't know. We're gonna have to work through some of these things. But
Yeah, so the video, the center shot looks like it's heading up to the upper playfield, and that mystery van shot is the lock for the multi-ball.
okay. Oh,
I mean, you'll get
the
there
mystery
through the
van.
video.
This one. Oh, this is the van. Okay.
There's 2 mystery van shots, so you can see the 2 inserts at both
Yeah,
spinner
that
ramps
one.
there.
So the mystery van. Well, okay. So to feed the apron lock, we can just work our way backwards. That would be
Can
this.
you read the
Vuck.
rules on the apron there? If you scroll down, is it not? the
Yeah, somebody actually
resolution
wrote that on there. It does say that, like character modes complete character orbit shots. So character orbit shots, I'm assuming are the far left. Depends on what you consider the
Well,
shot.
there's inner
more.
orbits too. So there's characters on the outer orbits and the inner orbits. If you look at the inserts there,
Character. If you look at the inserts on
Oh,
each
so
shot,
maybe this is an
each
orbit
character has-
itself.
each character has like 3 different inserts. Like you look at the Fred one, it's him standing, running, and then sneaking around.
Oh.
that looks attack from Mars ish.
Yeah.
Maybe hit each
Oh, so
shot
this is
3
Fred.
times to activate a character mode or something.
So that's Fred. That would be Shaggy. Right. Triangle 1, 2, 3 horseshoes. What do we have? Right. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So to feed this apron lock, I know is drop targets. It goes to that Vuck. We can see that. To feed that apron lock is this orange shot, which goes all the way to the upper playfield. And I'm guessing it's this shot.
One of those
It's
2.
one of these
yeah.
2, but one of these shots fields this outer path. The other one feeds the inner one. And I would guess you have to have a drop target in here of some kind because you can't just keep feeding balls down here. Like if you kept shooting balls down here in a multi-ball or something, where are they going to
Yeah.
go? So there has to be something here at the top that control. I think it's right here. I think there's probably a drop target right here. And that drop target is when that's down, that's when you can lock. When you can.
And it does look like, what's that character on that red? The
Black
dark
Knight.
red.
what it says.
It's Black Knight on the right.
Oh,
That
over
little
here?
character, right? Yeah, is
This
that someone in
character
a
right
mine
here,
cart?
that's Scooby.
That's Scooby, but
That's
is that someone on a mine cart or something? Maybe that's
Yeah,
the
I think it's
mine.
this guy right here.
So that's probably the mine shot
I
then.
think it's that guy. That would make sense.
Yeah.
So I think the Black Knight is what's. I actually don't know. I don't know. Something feeds this.
There's also another shot. Is there not another
Prospector.
shot to the right side of that too? Like to the right of the Black Knight.
Oh,
in
over
there?
here?
Or does the ball feed out of there somehow? Maybe that's one way into the upper play field from another shot.
Well,
or
let's
something.
pay attention to that. Maybe in this upper play field we can see something, but there's got to be something that keeps it from going down that. Okay, are we seeing any? So
If you go to 34 seconds, the green habit trail shot is shown. It's the left, second to left spinner
right
shot.
there. Yes, I saw this. That is what feeds your in lane. Black Knight
Yeah.
is a loop. Okay, let's go back up here. So Black Knight, this he's saying is a loop,
Okay. So maybe it comes out the right.
but I
It's
don't
like a
know,
tiny little
man.
Mini loop.
I don't know. Because do you guys agree there has to be some gate or something that keeps that apron lock from happening on accident?
Well, Zach
right?
mentioned in chat, and I was thinking it too. Maybe if it's going down that Vuck, the locked ball will kick out to your flipper and then be replaced with that next ball. So you know what I mean? You hit that shot, it's going down the lane, and then the right locked apron will kick the ball out to your flipper and then replace it with the next ball.
Well,
that
we saw the
shot it.
apron lock thing, and it doesn't look like a fast thing. So my fear is like you're in a multi-ball. Like, how would you? Is there a chance you'd accidentally hit more than one ball down? I don't know, because if it messes up in the apron trough, it's falling out, right? I don't know. I mean, these sculpts are great. Nobody's gonna complain. These sculpts are great. Any thoughts on the topper?
It's plastic.
It's
a generic
plastic.
top, yeah.
It's plastic.
It
your
looks
light
nice.
show.
It's got the art, yeah.
It's free. Pin Monk points out it
Yeah.
is free.
I
So
wonder
I'm
if there's going to be any movement or small motor, like Rick and Morty was plastic too, but
Yeah.
it had that moving sort of portal thing,
Yeah.
which maybe there's something like that on here too.
I mean, it's good art. It's good art. It is free, and I'm glad it's lit. So I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Let's keep working our way through here. Great artwork on the sides. It sounds like there's two different guys that actually drew this artwork, which is pretty cool. Now this artwork's only on the high-end model. The custom. This is it. This
Feet. It's feet.
It's feet and a head and a hand. The creeper. It's an interesting pose, but this is one. It's kind of hard to see. But surprised the topper is villain focused. Ah, good point. Yeah, Pinmonk doesn't like the armor. Scooby Snacks. That's what he. I'm not even gonna try to do an impression here. All right, so let's talk about that. So the plunge. We know it's not a plunger. It's a button. It's an auto plunge. So the plunge is an inch and a half away from the right side of the cabinet, and it goes straight up to a 180 ramp, and then it feeds straight into the right flipper. So it's forgiving. It's a very easy. It just delivers you the ball right where you want it. Boom. I don't really understand. I talked about this a little earlier or off camera, but to me, I feel like this entire lower play field is actually a standard body play field. If you
it does look like it because there's that, yeah.
If you look at this whole right side of the play field, there's nothing over here. This whole section over here, there's nothing here.
It's just
all that's
flashers.
here, it's just LEDs. It's all LEDs. So there's no other shot. There's nothing. So I just feel like this whole lower playfield was designed, to be honest, I think this whole game was designed to be on a standard cabinet. And I think this upper playfield got too crammed, or they wanted to add in an extra shot and they realized it wasn't going to fit. It wasn't going to work, because I don't think this right here, I don't know if that goes to the, it does go to the edge. That would make sense. But it's just like, there's nothing over here. They added this mech. So Joel is catching on. Yeah, I think it was a standard game, like a standard layout game. And then they, with this upper playfield, realized we need to fit more in here. And so they had to bump it out. That's my thought, but it's an interesting thought that some people don't like how wide body games shoot, right? I think the game's going to shoot like a standard body game. That's because I mean, look at it. Like the width of it is still, I mean, this is it. This is the whole width of the whole lower playfield. Is ignore this shooter. I mean, you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wait, it is a wide body. Yes, Sterling, it's a wide body. So auto plunge, straight to your left flipper. And then it looks like this from the upper playfield here, this outside one also feeds the purple habit trail. So it's going to feed right into your right flipper. Right. Yep.
Kind of like the shadow plunge.
Yeah, it's a very safe plunge delivering. Is there anything else we're seeing from this angle? So we saw, this is where this left orbit shot is what feeds the green habit trail. So that's what's going to feed the in lane as well. We just saw that shot, just straight from there. It looks like
I do like that there's stand-ups too on either side of all the shots. So if you miss a shot, you're at least going to hit something.
Correct. Definitely you're not just drilling posts. So
right shot looks like a horseshoe. It's in the like at 49 seconds or something.
Okay, we'll get to the horseshoe. It's an interesting thing, this bookcase mech. Yeah. I like the idea where you have to remember to hold up the left flipper. So there's some shot, maybe we can look at that. There's some shot over here. Because if you don't, whatever feeds this upper playfield, right? Whatever feeds this upper playfield, the ball, it looks like, is going to come right here. It's going to come right down over here on this left side. So if you don't hold up the left flipper, that ball is just going to go right down this blue habit trail and feed your left flipper, right? So you have to hold up the left flipper to get the ball to divert into all the fun up here.
I wonder if you when you showed that close up, if you held that flipper up as it comes down, if it would like nicely roll off the edge of that bookcase and then hit the other flipper nicely, a nice little rollover, like a ski pass almost.
Here it comes, Mike. It's going to be nice. Look at that.
Ooh,
It's a
does.
nice,
Look at
yeah.
that.
So you've
Yeah.
got to hold that back. Wait, Zach is saying 5-ball physical lock. Where? Where's our?
I did see that.
Where are we locking 5 balls?
There's a lot of places on this playfield.
Well, maybe there's 3 where the mystery van is, and then
In the mystery
2
machine.
apron locks, or
In
is
the-
it 5 in the mystery machine?
In the van. Okay. So from this angle, it looks like behind the underwater dude here, this is just a quick horseshoe. So this will kind of be like Rick and Morty, like woo woo, kind of quick. And then I know there are 2 magnets up here. I read that on Pinside that there are 2 magnets in the upper playfield and there's 1 magnet in the lower playfield. So we'll see that later on. But these shots, so the verdict's still out on exactly where all these go over on the right side. But that's an interesting thing. If you want the ball to leave the playfield, leave the flipper down, otherwise go up. Pretty cool. Rad made intend to catch the stream. I've been woozily dancing for cash outside the plasma center, says the trailer. Dude, good luck, man. All right. So Bash Toy, we saw that.
Yep. Magna hands.
Oh,
Magna hand. Okay, so that's
hands.
where it is. So that's where the magnets are. So there's. I wonder if you hit these targets and it just flashes the magnets for a second. You're gonna see it. Oh, okay. Maybe
There you
we
go.
got our answer here. All right.
So the airfield.
So the airfield is what went all the way behind it?
It looked
5
like
in the
it said-
van, 2 in the apron. Some possible elsewhere. Okay. Arms move 2. Yeah. So that shot was to the left. I don't know if that necessarily, because it showed 2.
Ooh,
All right. So let's
That
see where
might have
this
been a
ball
different
goes.
shot.
This is what you were saying, Hadi. So 49 seconds. So this is the right orbit. Oh, there we go.
Sure, horseshoe.
So the right orbit is not an orbit. It comes out. Did everybody see
Yeah.
that? So
Yeah.
the right orbit comes. This shot over here actually comes out over here.
so it's like a little mini orbit.
A horseshoe.
So where's the
really
van
cool.
lock?
It's got to
lock
be
is-
right where you're.
yeah.
It's right where you're pointed
You think
at. It's gotta be
you
there,
think the
yeah.
spinner
that's the-
goes into the van lock?
If you
Well, there's a
zoom in on
van
the,
insert.
if you
Oh, yeah.
zoom in on the inserts, it's I believe it says it says something, but there's also 5 LED flashers on the right side of the that are the colored inserts, colored flashers on
Oh,
the
these.
Scooby.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, I wonder if that's for your characters or if you're for your ball locks, or if that's another multi-ball mode or something.
Mike D, how do you
Yeah.
guys feel about a lack of pop bumpers? I could care less. I don't. There are so many people that think pop bumpers are needed in a pinball machine. I am not
Yeah.
one of them. I owned a
Pop bump-
Shadow. It did not need a pop bumper.
Pop
So-
bumpers were just designed to keep the ball held up for a long time to make people feel like they were playing for longer periods of time. That's all. That's all they're for.
I couldn't care less. Thank you.
I
So
want
right,
to for a sec, really quick, Joel.
ahead.
There was somebody asking about where you go to purchase this, and they go, I think, direct. But does Flippin' Out Pinball
Yeah.
also offer selling some of these? Do you want to talk about that really quick?
Zach's selling these. No, Flipping Out Pinball. Right, Zach is in chat here, so reach out to Zach at Flipping Out. I don't know. We could find his number real quick. Shoot him a text. Say you're interested. But yeah,
Late at night on weekends.
try him out. Otherwise, the other route you have to go is you have to be a Spooky Pinball member, a Spooky Fang Club member, and then it's Friday morning. Friday mornings when they go on sale. So okay, so what do we know so far? We know this shot right here. This shot right here, it feeds this green habit trail. So we
Yep.
know that one. We know that one, and we also know that this shot over here looks like it loops around back here somewhere, comes out over here. So it looks like we have a horseshoe. So that's 2.
Then your 2 up top feed the right.
We do know, yeah, we know these are fed. One of these feeds that, and I don't know yet. I'm guessing
Well, that
this
Black
one,
Knight one is definitely a little
black-
U-turn,
and
like a
wh-
U-turn shot.
But
There.
where does it come out? Does it come
right,
out?
or right underneath it. Like if you,
Oh, you
it
think
goes
it's
to
like
the right
this?
and yeah.
Oh, okay. So if that's that, then this guy has to have some sort of gate to feed that.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That's what. There you go. Zach at flippingout.com. 2 spots left. 2 spots left. You can give George will take the commission because he told me to shut up and promote you, Zach. So yeah, the commission. Yeah, we're just reeling it. Yeah. There we go. So that I like this actually. So that's very so. So this loop I like this. So whoop comes back around. This guy, there's got to be a gate or a drop or something in there to keep you from feeding that.
Like a diverter or something.
Yeah,
Maybe that
and then
diverts
that
it,
guy goes all the way out here. This is a little loop. You can bang these guys, and then I think there's a magnet probably somewhere around here, and we know there's a magnet over here. We're going to see it later. George gets it. Lucky you, man. Lucky you, George. Yeah, and then, so sweet. So that takes care of that. So lower play field. So we're saying this is the van lock because we actually see the van insert right here. So this, somehow, there's a lock somewhere in here. Somewhere. I don't know.
I love the fact that the 5 balls get locked in there. So that way, I love those little nuances to code that is deeper immersion in the theme. So there's 5 different people, I think, on the Scooby team. So 5 balls come out, like it's 5 people leaving the van.
I am with you. I'm with you.
Also, a multi-ball. There's a multi-ball insert up top too, on the center of the.
Right here, multi-ball.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
and you got to bash him a number of times to get it. Yeah,
and Scrappy's left behind. Scrappy's.
He wasn't part of the original show. They said they stated on Pinside. We want to stay true to the license, so no Scrappy.
So if we think about it, if you just let this ball, well, here there's an arrow pointing right here. It's pointing to basically his butt. This guy's butt. I don't know what that's about or how that's going to work. And then if you just let the ball drizzle down here, it's just going to feed the blue, is what it looks like. So you're always coming off that way. Yeah. Over here, I think, Hadi, you're onto something here with these inserts, these flashers, because there's 5.
I think that's got to be that's not going to be, doesn't look like it's the wizard mode, but it looks like it's maybe a multi-ball where those represent the number of balls locked because there's 5 of them.
Yeah.
They could be each colors for each character.
I think you're onto something. One thing I want to point out, though, in this picture right here, we got a sling, and then we have nothing. We have nothing on this whole right side except for there is a kicker.
Is that another kicker there too?
Right there.
That's like it's like a double sling up there.
Just call me Jub Jub. I mean, I like it, but it's this idea of if you go from this left flipper and you hit this, all that's going to do is kick it back over here to the left. It's going to say,
nope. They had that on Alice and Cooper too.
Nope, stay over here. Stay over here. So nothing really to aim at over here. No targets, no nothing. I don't think there's anything here. I think it's... Oh, that's a metal guide. There's nothing. There's nothing over there. So, all right. So that's the orbit, and we know it's going to come out over here.
And you can see the rut row outline inserts on that last second. So
there's 2 over there. This is cool. This thing's only on the top tier model. And the custom button only on the top tier model. All right, so load members of the gang in the mystery band 5-ball lock mech. First time I've read that because I didn't know that. So something, I mean, that's cool that there's a spinner, but I always assume if there's a spinner on something, the ball's coming back out. But it sounds like that's not the case. But I doubt the lock is always open. So there has to be some sort of diverter, right? So I'm curious if it doesn't lock the ball, where's it coming out? I feel like that ball's got it came out to the right.
Yeah.
So there's probably some sort of scoop or something. So if you're not locking it, it spits it out because it says it's a physical ball lock.
It might just be a post that comes up and there's like 5 switches, right? And it'll release the balls as you shoot the ball up there.
Well, kind
of 5, switches in the play field.
Maybe kind of like the turtle van, on Turtles. It just kind of sits there. 5 lock balls, 5 carry. Yeah, but it's called a fork. I don't know. I'm curious because there's got to be, this has to do something when you're not locking the ball, which it looks like it just spits it out to the right, and then there's got to be something else in there of where the ball goes.
It looks tight. Like, I mean, there's an orbit going around it, right? Like that the right orbit comes like out on the left side of that shot. So it'd be interesting to see how that mech works or how that lock works.
Well, like Rush has a spinner right in front of isn't there a scoop, or not a scoop, but like it stops the ball right behind the spinner.
No, it's just like a quick on Rush.
Oh, it's just a quick little
spinner
loop.
that just it's like almost like a
Woody.
U-turn.
Woody on Toy Story. Woody on Toy
right.
Story. You hit a spinner that goes immediately into a saucer, and then it spits it out to the right. So, but I am curious if this is a physical or virtual lock. They said physical. Left side is a loop shot. Yeah. So we know that these two link together.
So does the upper playfield lock? Is that center shot the lock
think
shot
it's-
to feed the apron locks?
I
Like, do you
don't know.
activate it? I wonder if that's like the other multi-ball, because it does say multi-ball up there.
Yeah, Scooby Doo.
And
There's a few.
You have a 2-ball multi-ball with the apron locks.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if this ramp is what feeds. If it's going to be like Simpsons almost, where it's a ramp
Yeah.
over top of an orbit that then feeds a vuck and just spits it up in the back, or it's an actual like ramp. The center shot looks like it has direction inserts on the mode. Center shot is to the upper playfield. Yeah, but is it actually like a ramp that you're hitting like Halloween, where you have to have enough power to get up the ramp, or is it going to be like Simpsons, where Simpsons it actually is actually a small ramp that goes over an orbit, and then it lands in a vuck, and the vuck shoots it up to the upper playfield? I don't know. All right, what else do we see in here? Oh, that was multiple balls. Do we see that? So I don't know if this is necessarily. I don't know if that's necessarily where it goes if it's not locking. It just shows hit that, but you're going to see multiple balls trickle. Oh, that came out from over here. Did you see it? This may be hard to see. I'm sorry, guys. That ball is dropping
I can see
out
that. Yeah,
from somewhere
you can see
up here.
the ball right there now. There's a little
Let me try to find it. That ball like looked like it popped.
dropped. Yeah, it looked like it dropped down a little bit.
Yeah, it's like up here. Why are
Yeah.
you not disappearing like you?
Falling down. That's
I don't
interesting.
know. Somebody check this. I
Falling
mean,
in that
feel free to watch it themselves. Yeah, it's kicking out there. So it's kicking. I don't know. Headlights and the character faces in the van flash that light up. That's cool. Yeah, it's something's kicking out of
There's your
there.
locks. Yeah,
Something's
that's
kicking out up
probably-
there. So I like this. What are your thoughts here on having this drop in the middle? The middle.
It
of the
better be
flippers?
sturdy. 'Cause I mean, the reason why I say that is because if you brick a shot and it comes screaming back right down the middle and that drop target is up, it's going to hit it pretty hard. So I don't know.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't break.
I mean, I like the concept of a physical ball save. I think it's cool. But I know in some of the older games, it was like a circular, like a whole circle
The
that came up.
up-post.
So,
Yep.
have we ever seen the underside of the playfield? No, I have not seen a picture yet of the underside of the playfield.
There is a game that does have a drop target that comes up the middle, and I played it recently. I just don't remember what game that was.
Diamond Lady, I heard, is one.
That's it.
Hey,
That's it.
I just
Yeah,
paid attention
Diamond Lady.
because somebody apparently
Yeah.
Chuck Wirt loves Diamond Lady.
Diamond
And
Lady. That's it.
they're like, Chuck's gonna buy this game just because it's lightning flipper. No, these looks like standard flippers. Yeah, and we're gonna see here. This is what delivers the ball from the apron lock, over here on the right and the left. Okay, the art's great. I mean, the art looks great, right? I mean, I don't think
Yes.
anybody can deny that. Okay, so that ball just went. Whoa! That was fast. Watch this ball. It's going to go up the middle ramp. So watch this, up the middle ramp, and looks like it
you go.
immediately came down the left.
So that's where it's going to come
So
down for your
I have
bookcase.
no idea though how this ramp is set up for that to go that fast. But you look, that ball went straight up that middle ramp and then came screaming down the left. And remember, if you want to stay up there though, you gotta keep your left flipper up. You
You can
gotta
play
keep
the video at half speed, I think, if you want to slow
mean,
it down. I
That
don't
would
know if YouTube has
probably
those
be smart.
There you go.
Jeez, Hadi. You got to tell me these things before I start, you know? All right, here we go. At half speed. Wow. It is quick. It is quick.
Yeah, that was quick.
You know what? Let's go slower. Why not? I mean, we're not in a rush to get through this video.
Yeah, we could talk about this all night.
All right, let's see here. Boom. Oh, look how sturdy that drop target was. It stopped. Okay, here we go. Straight up the middle and just straight down the left side. All right,
Yeah.
actually, I want to see now that we are, we got smart, aka Hadi pointed out what I should have done. I want to look at this van. This van, just imagine it being a normal gap. All right, so we're locking a ball, but look at where it kicks out. I'm trying to find where is this ball
Actually, if you
coming.
pause it right now, I think I can see the balls. Look at the top left corner. You can up higher in the top right corner. Sorry, keep
Up here,
going.
over
Right
here?
there. You can see like the shine off of one of the balls there. I think, and
Like
you'll
a
see it drop
CSI
from there.
It's right here.
Yeah,
It is
they're up
dropping from
higher.
like right here. So something, you either have some weird 180 ramp, like maybe it is a 180 ramp and it goes up in here, or it's some vuck that's spitting balls. I don't know, but it's coming from up here and dropping down. There comes another one. One's gonna come right. It's just gonna poop them out. Oh, it's
It comes
it's
from
like,
way up in. Yeah,
it's
like
way
up
over
in-
here. I don't know where. Although I don't know where there's somewhere back in there. Which is great. That's cool. All right. Yeah. All right, let's look at this. Here we go.
it's
The
on the
ball is on the
grassy
grassy knoll.
knoll.
Got it. Boom. Look at that drop target. Okay. All right. Right up the middle. They're letting the ball go right down the left side. That's fast. That looked fast.
which is good.
There they
That's a
go
good
again.
thing.
Straight up the middle. Oh, so that's what we're saying. Now, I don't know how this is working. How are we getting three? This had to have been staged. Because remember, this green, I'm pointing at the screen with my finger. That's not how things work. Okay, this green habit trail we saw is fed by this left spinner. This one's fed by the upper playfield, and this one's fed from a vuck. And yet they just showed 3 balls, 1, 2, and 3, all coming down at the same time. How did they?
You're not making that shit. Yeah,
They
you're
had
not
to
making
set
That's
that up.
definitely- that's
They had to
definitely
set that up.
staged.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
This
it's set
ball just went in this inner orbit. We're trying to figure this out. So where's that ball coming out? Where are you coming out?
It came out the.
It never
so
came
it's
out.
The same as it did. It did.
Where'd it come
Go
out?
back again. It came out of the left orbit, so it's the same as
It
the
came out-
right side. Keep watching.
Oh,
keep
you think it's
watching.
coming out over
Yeah,
here?
it's comes.
Oh,
see
it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the same as the right side. So the right side and the left side have 2 little mini
All right.
U-turns or
So-
horseshoes.
This, according to Mike, if this is this, whoop. This is this.
Interesting. So
Whoop.
they just mirror it. It's a symmetrical horseshoe.
Okay. All right. This guy, alligator, is coming right there to the green habit trail. This thing, magic. Magic figure. We don't know. We don't know. So I think that answers what is
All for under 10K.
and then so that just leaves to get to the upper playfield. Oh, we saw that. It is a quick shot where your upper playfield's going somehow magically here and then coming this way. Yeah. Okay. Well, this counts as gameplay video. Yeah, I mean, we're figuring it out. You know what the trick was, and I'm glad I thought of it, is to play the video at like half speed.
call.
Yeah. I'm glad I figured that out. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Hadi. So what is this? This arrow. What is this arrow? Okay, so he kind of bopped the ball over. Look at this. What is this arrow at the top here? All right, I went back
Maybe
too far.
like a stand-up or a bash toy target. Like there's a
Something's on the-
switch
right
on
there.
that character.
Oop. Is it a
He's
mag?
one of the villains.
Okay,
Maybe that's
here's
one of the shots
this.
you have to hit.
So you have to kind of hit it with this left part of your flipper, like kind of. I mean, it's like you're not hitting that
Oh.
over here. It's a weird shot. Something's over there.
Yeah, as you bring that bookcase
Yeah.
back down,
Whomp.
maybe you hit the ball into that or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Now what we're
You have
gonna
to hit the
see.
horseshoe.
Watch the ball right above the left flipper here. You're going to see the magnet because balls don't roll like this. You ready? So,
Carl just
wee,
Ooh.
wee,
Whoa.
wee. That's the magnet. Yep. So clearly there's a magnet here and there's a magnet over here because there's 2 up here.
God, how are you going to make that loop? That's a crazy shot. It's so tight.
I don't know.
That horseshoe.
So looks like we have a few different areas here. I'm cool with this. And then, yeah, Scooby, Shaggy. So this is showing the 5 people that you can play with down here. Heard
like the
Carl just
LCD
finished
thing.
SD wizard mode. What do you mean SD?
Scooby Doo.
Oh yeah, he's on it. Yep. He's just
What do
rolling
you-
it.
What do you think of the chances that we're going to have a where you have to try to guess at the end who the bad guy actually is? Kind of like-
Oh, kind of
would be
like
cool.
Clue.
Before
Yeah.
they pull the mask off.
That
Yeah,
would be kind of
exactly.
cool.
Kind of like Who Done It.
Yeah.
who done it is what I was trying to think
Yeah.
of.
Who done it? Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's actually not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. And I see what you're saying. So here are the character inserts. So this would be the Shaggy spot, the Fred spot. This is Velma right over here because she lost her glasses. And then there's a snack sign. Well, there's a snack actually on all of them. So here are the double drops. Double drops. That's how you feed that. Did you guys just see that? When he hit this shot, it looked like the action figure moved. I don't know if that was purposeful. Yeah,
A little bit.
He moved a little. I don't know if that was just...
Maybe it's,
Okay, so this is how you feed. It's going to pop up. This is how it feeds the apron lock, which is pretty cool. That's a unique... I mean, this is unique. There's no denying... I don't know of an apron lock. I'm not the pinball historian, but it looks
The
like...
Walking Dead Premium LE.
Yeah, some people are
I guess
saying
with
this...
the crossbow shot, yeah.
Some people are saying the shape of this is...
Phallic.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. They could change that if it was really a problem.
I'll give you the classy term.
Square it off or something. Ball lock. Here we go. And it just... That's pretty cool. That's
Really cool.
There's... Now, this is... Okay, this is all above the playfield because I was going to say if it like blocked anything out. No, that's... I think it looks good, man. And here you can see this whole right side again here. I think the apron lock is dope and how it goes back into play. I agree. I mean, this game looks great. This game looks great. Now, I did see this in the video. I was like, what the heck's this? And that is the coil and the coil stop of the upper playfield. So I was like, that sucks. Well, they've added a gate, and I'll show you the picture of that. You can see the headlights here are lit up on the van. What are we seeing here? All credits, everything like that. That is cool. That is cool. So here we go with these pictures. I was going to show this. They posted this on Pinside. Right there. They added that gate.
Okay.
They
just
added
to
a
cover
gate already.
Yeah. Okay.
Looks good.
So we could sit here and try to figure this out. Collector's Edition, Bloodsuckers, blah, blah, blah. Shout out to Carrie Hardy. Carrie Hardy made a graphic. Made a graphic that makes it way easier. So this is just like the Stern Matrix that they release on every game. The game features Matrix. So the standard edition, essentially $7,800. $7,800. Well, we'll work our way back. How about that? So collector's edition, $9,800. That's without butter cab. You want butter cab? I think it's another like $1,000 or $1,200. But that has everything that we just saw. So the Charlie the Robot sculpt, abandoned airfield sign, mine entrance sculpt, Black Knight sculpt, the miner and Scooby Doo minecart sculpts. So basically all the figures. And then the 5 colored habit trails. You got a plaque. You get the custom launch button, the creeper armor, the topper, the powder coating. There's Scooby speaker grills. And then the green plastic protectors, and then the artwork. So that's everything. Everything. $9,800 essentially. That's pretty sick to have that under 10 grand. There's no...
A lot of game.
That's a lot to put in a game for under 10 grand, which is funny. I mean, like, we're talking 10 grand. I mean, pinball is expensive, but Stern Elliott, like a Bond, what was it? It was $13,000 as a Bond LE. Yep. I mean, it's... And then Toy Story, the standard Toy Story LE is 12.5. It's like, so that's a lot. So then you go down $1,000. So what are you losing? What are you losing for $1,000? By the way, the CE has the interior, so art blades, it has a knocker, it has a shaker, it has all the RGB speaker lights, target details, action button, all of those. Has all that crap. So now we go
that's
down.
Just add-ons though. That's just add-ons, right? That's
it's all there in the CE. So what do you lose going from the CE to the Bloodsucker edition? What are you losing? Basically, the Charlie the Robot sculpt, the abandoned airfield sign, the mine entrance, the Black Knight, the miner and Scooby Mike carts. Now the 5 colored habit trails goes down to metallic flake habit trails. So it's not as colorful. You have a different plaque. Your protective armor, instead of it being green, is black. Your speaker colors, instead of having having Scooby on them, are just different. You have a metallic flake powder coat, and you have clear plastic protectors. So you still get like, you're still getting this you're still getting this sculpt up here. So you lose the Black Knight. So this guy's gone, right?
The two
What is
mine
it?
cards.
So Charlie the Robot, abandoned airfield sign. Abandoned airfield is this thing gone. This guy gone. The mine carts gone.
All the signs up top, basically.
Oh, is that what I'm reading? Black Knight, mine, abandoned airfield. Is that it? That's it.
You're losing all the
the
color
mine
and,
entrance. Yeah, the mine
yeah.
entrance too.
But is this guy? So this guy's still there. He's still
the
there.
airfield. All three signs up top and everything up top is gone. Those three things.
Those
right there
three
are
gone. These are
Yeah.
gone. Gone.
But
don't
those
even,
look
don't even think
like-
about it.
Yeah, but
You could
I mean,
make that easy.
Somebody
right?
easy. That's
Yeah.
right. There could be a third-party mod maker make some.
I mean,
signs or do something
you
like
could
that.
3D print that guy. You could 3D print these.
Yeah.
The main thing is whether or not, I think, is this. Do you like the look of this cabinet? Or there's a picture here. Come on, Nap. I'm probably scrolling the wrong direction. There it is. That's the main thing, I think. What do you want?
I kind of like the Mystery Machine one. I like the minimalist look of it, and
Or
it's
the topper.
The topper,
mean,
though.
yeah,
Well,
the
Mike's
topper,
not the
yeah.
topper guy. I don't. George, what are your thoughts on the art package?
I love it all. I just want Matt Frank to win one of the award show for 2023. Matt Frank, I think, was robbed in 2021 with his work on Ultraman. So I just want to see him absolutely own it this next time through, because these are all fantastic, especially the CE, in my opinion. That would be the direction I go.
George, you should email Spooky, because what I mean is, I told you at Cincinnati they had printed playfields. So you could have, for $250, you could probably get a defect printed Ultraman playfield and just hang that on your wall. But yeah, it's pretty sick. But
You'll give it him PTSD.
yeah,
exactly.
it
No,
looks
okay.
great though. I mean, his art is awesome. I don't know. I don't mind the Mystery Machine. That doesn't bother me. We were talking about the speaker, so that you can see here the speaker grills in this picture are. I don't know if that's gonna make. Yeah, the speaker grills over here are Scooby shaped, while these just have like horizontal slits in them. But this is a sparkly metallic flake powder coat. I don't know. I mean, I don't get me wrong. The art and the CE is my favorite. I think it's great. But I think the Mystery Machine is so iconic. Like,
yeah, I agree.
it's not bad. It's not. It's really
Looks
not
like
bad.
the van.
Yeah.
It's like the side of the van.
Free too. It looks like.
So it's an interesting. It's an interesting debate. So $1,000 difference. $1,000 difference. Are you okay with that? And losing just these signs, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about those sculpts and that guy. I think all of those things you could add back in. It's just the cabinet art. I think that's really what it comes down to. What do you want your cabinet art? The bright green. I mean, the powder coat. Anybody can do the bright green powder coat afterwards if you really want to. My issue my issue with the Mystery Machine on the side is that's not the game name. Oh, what is the game name?
I'm surprised they didn't do a different back glass for
Scooby
this.
Doo, where are you? Yeah, it is interesting. The translator, the back glass, same thing. Is the same thing. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that is a good point.
One question I had, and I don't know if these were rumors or confirmed by Spooky, but I thought that they had mentioned that their next game was also going to be two themes on one package, like Halloween and Ultraman.
I
Did anybody hear that rumor?
I
or
heard that
hear-
as the rumor.
Yes.
I definitely heard that as a rumor, but I don't know if that's where it ended.
Well, I mean, unless they have something that they're not showing yet, but I would assume they would have revealed that at the same time.
Yeah,
But I
No,
definitely
think-
heard
yeah.
that. I just don't know if that came from Spooky or just as a rumor.
I would guess. Yeah. So, but here's the last thing, right? So that's $8,800. $8,800. Are you willing to give up the topper, those figures on the playfield, which I think you could replace, and the art on the cabinet. If you're willing to do that, you just saved $1,000. But the difference between the Bloodsuckers edition and the Standards edition is this is what you lose. This is what you lose. So you lose an RGB LED action button. You lose the target decals. You lose the RGB speaker lights. You lose the shaker. You lose the knocker. You lose the interior graphics. The habit trails are just flat black. You have no plaque. They're standard black rails, kind of like on a Stern. They're standard speaker grills, and that's it. So it's just I don't know, but you're looking at $7,800.
And you're still getting all the mechs. You're getting all those mechs and everything else in the game still. So that's pretty good.
So if you're looking at this game, that game looks exactly like this, except for the X'd out things, and these habit trails are flat black.
That's an interesting. So they do it differently. They keep all the mechs in, unlike Stern, versus the Pro and Premium models, but they just give you less color. I wonder which one is more popular with the pinball crowd. Would you want to keep all the same mechs? I would imagine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Having because that way you're playing the same game as everybody else.
Yeah, and you're not like, look at Godzilla, for example. Like, look at the difference between the Pro and Premium of that.
Yeah.
There's some really major differences in gameplay there. This is not going to change from model to model. So it's really going to be a preference as to, whether you want the art package or whether you want the colorful habit trails and whatnot. But the game is going to essentially play exactly the same across all the models, which to me is the best way to do it.
Crazy is that the color is part of the theme, though. That's what makes it so great. It's representing each character. It matches the whole style and theme, and that's why I think it's actually they were smart. They're like, look, we'll make this super colorful, make it distinctive, and for people that want to pay a little less, we'll just give them all metallic or flat black.
What can we bling out? Can we bling out?
I mean, there will be somebody that will offer up to, you could probably send them your habit trails and they would powder coat them.
Will be 3D printed from somebody.
So it's a lot. To me, it's really the topper. I think it comes back to the topper. But the other thing that we're not talking about is the way that Spooky builds games. At least this is what they did at Halloween and Ultraman, is they did the collector's editions first. So really, if there's a chance that this sells out, the moment you sign up for a Bloodsuckers edition, you just basically are committing to waiting like a year plus, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing where it's like, if you commit to a standard edition, you may be a year and a half, 2 years out.
Because they said up to 1,969 units, so they can make as many CEs as they want.
Exactly.
To be smart of them, because people are not going to want to wait for this if it gets good reviews when it's on location or in the hands of owners.
I'll be curious. What would be interesting is how many people would potentially place an order for like a Bloodsuckers edition. And let's say the game comes out and it's amazing. And how many people are like, actually, you know what? And I know I was quoted a year and a half out. Can you move me up? Like, I want to go collector's edition now. Upgrade me to collectors to see if how much that increases your spot in line potentially. I don't know. But
they did the same thing with the Halloween and Ultraman. They never declared how many CEs they were making, right? They just said they'll make as many as people order up to the number of games they plan on making, right?
Yeah. George, how did your order date go on Ultraman? Because you bought it day one, right? So how did that work out?
I got mine pretty quick, but weird snafu with the ordering system. So Spooky's always had a big issue with order day and not being able to keep up. And I think that just has to do with how they prioritize software. But I successfully made my order and then found out 20 minutes later that it was canceled because of an issue on their system. So I ended up emailing Bug, and once again, their customer support is fantastic. They took care of me, and they ended up, I think, making a few more than what they originally sold. So I think I wasn't the only person who dealt with that. And for the people, I think, who had those issues, they got bumped up because there was no way to really prioritize those. So I think I was in the first 50 went to friends and family and special people, I think. And then I was in the first batch after that. So I got my Ultraman very quickly.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, because I know when you have stuff like this, it's like I think orders open up. So you got to be a Spooky Fan Club member. What did you do? Were you like on the site, logged in already?
Oh,
and
yeah.
like, what did you do? Just refresh right at 10, and then hopefully something popped up and you can add it to cart? I mean,
Yeah. So what's happened? I've done. I did Rick and Morty and I did Ultraman, and it was roughly about 20 minutes beforehand. Got on the site, start refreshing every once in a while, no issues. And about 5 minutes beforehand, you hit refresh, and you maybe are waiting 20 or 30 seconds. 60 seconds beforehand, everyone's refreshing at this point, waiting to see that you can actually add it to cart. And now the refresh, it took 4 or 5 minutes.
ooh.
So it was well after they opened before it came back. It said it was available. And then I click add to cart, and it took another 4 or 5 minutes for that page to refresh and show that it was in my cart. And then there was all these issues once you get down to the form where you have to actually choose your shipping. And it was trying to populate the shipping drop down. That took 4 or 5 minutes for it just to populate the drop down. And then you finally hit the buy button. That took like another 4 or 5 minutes. And I got a message back with a confirmation ID. So all in, it was roughly about 20 minutes before I actually had made it through the ordering process.
That must
It's
be
horrific.
must be awful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's. I won't go through that again. I'm hesitant to buy anything sight unseen. I think from Spooky, but I'm not using their website again unless they commit to making some sort of a pretty big infrastructure change. At this point, I would only buy through distributors.
That's what I was going to say. If you want to avoid having to go through that, email Zach at Flipping Out Pinball. Flip the letter in out. Is it Pinball? Zach Flipping Out Pinball. Yeah, it's flippingoutpinball.com. He's right here. Just say it. If you want to order, you can avoid that whole mess.
As far as the distributors and buying direct go, were they fulfilling the direct orders before distributors, or were distributors getting their?
That's a fantastic question that Zach can answer. I don't know. Or what did you hear? Because you ordered direct, George. So
yeah, I ordered direct. I had a couple of conversations, I think, afterwards, and Zach can probably fill us in, but I think they were provided certain serial numbers, which beforehand, and a certain allotment of serial numbers, which they had the opportunity to resell. But I would love to hear what if Zach has any ideas of what's going to happen on this next one.
Wake up, Zach. I mean, he commented. He should be there. He's probably in his hot tub. Just for everybody on the stream, when Zach's in his hot tub, he's nude, like butt naked.
He's taking too many orders right now.
Uh-oh, George's camera went out. I'm way too used to this, George, being with people and their cameras going out. I can't handle. I want to call you Travis. Oh, there we go. They actually are super fair. 50 to dealers, 50 to direct, 50 to customers. Awesome. So they're just rotating. Awesome. You mentioned being hesitant buying sight unseen from Spooky. Why is that? So
the last 2 pins.
Yeah. Well, Rick and Morty was good, but Halloween wasn't as great. So, I mean, that's the thing right here. We're seeing the game. The game looks awesome. What we're not seeing is the code. We're not seeing the code. We have no idea. Well, I mean, we're looking at these mechs, though. I don't know.
There's a lot of mechs in there. I mean, I'd want to see the game working solidly before committing to. I mean, not just the code, but
this is definitely unique. But you would think drop targets, you would think, are pretty reliable. They haven't said what board system this is on. If this is their newer system, I'm assuming. I doubt they went P3. But I have no idea how this mech works that's holding these balls. No idea.
I also want to point out that Spooky DJ is labeled as who's on software. And I think Spooky was just hired DJ was just hired a year ago. I think there was a message somewhere about DJ being introduced at, I don't know if it was Expo or TPF last year or something like that.
See the one with the dog?
Yeah, with the dog.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't know much about DJ and what kind of background he has, but that's just yet another reason to be hesitant. It's even a different developer who was the one who I'm imagining went through a significant amount of learning on Halloween and Ultraman.
Yeah.
They have high turnover there. Are they going through a lot?
They're going through a lot of anybody outside. It seems like they are really focusing on only people that live there. I don't know how many people do anything for Spooky that don't live in Benton, Wisconsin. I did just see this. I'm surprised to see this post directly touching art. I mean, I feel like everybody's printing at this point has gotten to the point where the art is pulled back, a 1/4 of an inch all the way around anything so good on them, I think. But I don't know. Shout out to Nap Arcade. Thanks again for making this easy. We'll wrap it up here. I mean, my takeaways, I think the game looks visually, I think it looks awesome. We'll do this real quick. These are the shots that I think we're pretty confident in. So down here, Scooby Snacks, you hit these drop targets down, it's going to go into a VUC right here, and then that's what goes straight down the habit trail to feed that. This left orbit is actually going to looks to be like a horseshoe shot, and it comes out. I drew that too. It's going to go. I totally missed that. These are linked. These two are linked. Those two are linked. This ramp right here is what feeds this green habit trail, and it's gonna go all the way down to your left flipper. We talked about that. That links out there. This straight up the middle looks like it goes really quick. So no VUC, no nothing. Looks like it goes really quick and is what comes out up here. And that's what feeds your upper playfield. If you leave your flipper down, that's just going to keep going. And it's going to go down the blue habit trail to your left flipper. Otherwise, if you pull that upper left flipper back, that will stop and the ball kind of bounces over. And now you can play in the upper playfield here. Upper playfield, this is a horseshoe. There's a magnet here. There's a magnet over here. This shot right here goes all the way to the outside and looks like it feeds your right flipper. This shot right here, there has to be some sort of diverter or gate or something, because that's what goes all the way down and feeds this apron lock, which I don't think you're going to do over and over and over again. And then this Black Knight loop loops around real quick and just feeds the ball back around. Down here, this shot feeds your right orbit. So these two are linked together. That looks awful. And then this right here is another spinner. This, we don't know how this lock works. It's magic. Something's doing something back here, and then it just spits balls out to the right. And then there's nothing over on this right side. There is a kicker right here, though, to kick the ball back in. And then Hadi thinks there's 4 lights here. Or maybe maybe
5.
Scooby is Scooby.
Maybe Scooby's the 5th.
So if he's locked, he pops up, or lock goes in, something.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's what we figured out. That's what we figured out tonight. I think we all agree the art looks awesome. The art looks amazing. So the things they are doing right, the art looks great. The theme integration, they've said they have access to movie clips. I think the sound, they've got some amazing voice actors. So I think the call-outs will be great. I think I said like 4,000 call-outs. I think we heard somewhere. It's going to sound great. I think the video assets looks pretty awesome. The artwork on the playfield, I mean, that playfield looks incredible. So they're doing all those things right. The layout, I think, looks very unique. I think the video looks like things are shooting fast. I don't think it's going to feel super floaty because it looks like the width of the game is actually more like a standard body game. So there's a lot here, but the unknowns, build quality, what's the code going to be like? Don't know. And if you're okay with rolling the dice on the build quality and what the code's going to be like, Friday morning's your time. Otherwise, email Zach Flipping Out. Place your order right now.
Q&A tomorrow on Facebook.
Q&A tomorrow. So if I was able to, if Bug and Luke were sitting right here and I could ask them a question, what's the board set? Curious. I don't know. What would you ask them? Do you guys have a question?
Give me the names of everybody working on it.
Yeah.
I want to know who to call. No, I think the board set is such a big one, but also, who's coding it? Give me the names of the coders at least.
It's one dude. They already gave it. It's in the credits.
It's just him?
Spooky DJ or something. Now, he did defend himself on he said, I am the guy that's meant to make all this work, but it is a group, it's group suggestions. It's group.
Okay.
So maybe if I would ask him, can you describe one of the modes? Is there one of the modes or one of the bad guys that you're excited about? Describe to me, it does look like you have 3 shots. There's 3 Daphne, 3 Fred. So like, what does that mean? Do I hit the shot 3 times and that's what qualifies a mode, or is there something, like, give me something to be excited about with the code, right? Like that would be, yeah.
I would definitely want to know, a simple question would be, walk me through the progression of the game. How do you progress through the game? Are you there yet with the code, right? I just want to know how the game progresses. And, obviously with their past experience with Ultraman and Halloween, how can they assure the buyer that they've addressed any issues with gameplay, as far as your experience with the center ramp, anything like, have they tested it enough to make sure that all the shots are going to do what they're supposed to and all the mechs are going to work as they're supposed to?
Yeah, that's a good point. I brought up the board set. I don't know. I don't necessarily know that I've heard issues with the board set in Halloween or Ultraman, but I know the P Rock system is, obviously there's a lot more games that are built on that. I bet it's the same board system. The bin hex, I don't know exactly what it's called, but I don't know, man. This game's intriguing. I mean, I know my kids, they love spooky things. They love Halloween, and I think this is a perfect kid-friendly game. To me, it's like, I think my kids would probably really enjoy this game, or watching this game being played. But it's hard for me to not be selfish and make sure that the games I buy are games that I want to play, not necessarily games that I want my kids to watch. So, Saul Hudson, it's hard to ignore the value. I agree. Yeah, it's interesting. But hey, everybody has to make their own choice. Is this a game they're willing to gamble on? I think it's going to sell well. Are they going to sell all of them? 1969. Are they selling all of them on Friday? Yes or no? Chat, what do you guys think? Yes or no?
Yes.
George,
if I could give a little bit of evidence behind that, to take 2 things that Zach said. He says he has 2 spots left, and he also says that they were given 50 spots. So before 2 days or 3 or 4 days before they even go up for sale directly, he's already sold 48. Like that's a large number from one distributor, and he's still got a couple days, especially after tonight. I mean, now that we've gone through it, I'm personally much more interested. There's no way, but like, I'm way more intrigued after the deep dive that we just did to see this game. I also want to point out that for whatever reason, the habit trails are my sticking point. There's no way I'd get a game that didn't have the colored habit trails.
It's interesting.
I like your style of thinking.
Yeah, the first time I saw the habit trails, I was like, to me, my reaction was like, that's a lot. Like, that was but it's almost more like, it's a lot of habit trails. Like, there's a lot of habit trails on here. And maybe it's because I'm used to all of the habit trails have 6 wires. I mean, they're like, the ball is fully enclosed. So maybe I'm just used to like Stern habit trails where it's only, on the curves they'll have enough, but then in the open areas it's just 2 wires and it treats the ball, the balls. And so maybe it's just a lot of habit trails in general, and it doesn't matter that it's colorful. But I feel like those habit trails are beefy. I don't know if they're all needed to be so fully enclosed, but we'll see. I think it looks great though. It's a good looking game. It is. I mean, I'm way more tempted to buy this game than I am Halloween or Ultraman, but I know I can't. I mean, I just bought Godzilla. I can't. But I am very curious. I'm very curious to see this. I wish them success, and I hope, back to the beginning when we were talking, there was a lot of question of, did Spooky hurt themselves? And is it really going to hurt them on the next release? But you know what? They did. I think they're doing everything right to make this release sell well, because man, does that thing look good. And we know the sound's going to be good in the video. I mean, yeah.
They timed it right too. They know they need to capitalize off, the lack of new pins, and the new pin announcements haven't been as good. So might as well. It's perfect.
I think it's going to be pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well, it's midnight, so I think we'll wrap it up here. Chat, if there's anything else you want us to say or mention. I feel bad, George. I know you said before you started streaming that you broke down. You had a very methodical way to break down this game, right? you had like segments, and I mean, if there's anything, I know you have notes. So if there's anything that you want to, I just feel bad that you've put forth effort into this that I left ignored. Is there anything that you want to mention that from your notes that we didn't hit on?
So two things. One, everything I would bring up would, I feel like, instigate a lot more conversation. So we'll save that for another discussion. But I do have some kind of interesting breakdowns, like trying to decide from the point of view of different types of pinball players who would enjoy this. For example, is this going to be a big win for competition people versus at home buyers versus maybe operators? Is this going to be a big win for operators? And there's a lot of different reasons I think it would be different from different perspectives. And two was I misunderstood when Flippin' Out said the 50 and that he had two positions left right now. So just clarification that Zach was trying to nail on that. I think Spooky only has given 50 of the 1969 games to distributors as a whole. So it's not 50 to each distributor.
Oh, okay. Well,
very different.
Zach still has two. So if you want, to reach out to Zach.
Exactly. Yeah, Zach has two. Give him a call.
I mean, my brief response is competitive players. I don't think competitive players care at all right now, because competitive players, in my mind, they care about the code. That's what they care about. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how cool it looks. I mean, you're a competitive player, George. But to the stream, I think the code is what's going to suck a competitive player into this game. Not
historically, has any Spooky game been a competitive darling ever? And maybe TNA, but TNA you never see on location because it never handles the thousands of plays. Like they're often broken on location when you see them there. So I would say from a competitive standpoint, I can't imagine anyone on a competitive side is really interested in seeing this game.
Not. I mean, not yet. They're not in a like. They have Rush. But no competitive players excited about Bond either right now because there's no code in it. So it's
Alice Cooper wasn't a bad competitive game either. I played that competitively a couple times. It's a bit of a long player, but competitively, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to answer your question, I think if you put this on location right now, it would do well. It's just such a recognizable theme, and I think it would do well to, like, I know Toy Story is people love that. Like, that was the game my wife went straight to it when we were on location. So I think this is a theme that is very recognizable to a lot of different demographics. And I'm telling you, I mean, I just said, like, this is a game, if it was in my basement, like, my kids don't, my 2 and 4 year old don't care about Dr. No. It's sitting right here. They don't care at all. But they would see Scooby Doo and they'd be all over it. So for sure.
This is huge for casuals, and this is the pull you in off the street style theme. Somebody's going to see it, especially the mystery van or the bus, if it's positioned in a way to see the side. Like I think it's going to do really well. So that makes it positive for on location and casuals. But is it going to be something that's great for? Yeah, I can keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're totally right. And I know on the Pinball Party podcast, Doc Pinball or whatever, like Doc Monday, whatever his name is, the one dude like runs Electric Bat Arcade, and he's had nothing but issues with Halloween on location. So there may be plenty of operators that are like, sorry, I think it'll kill, but I can't own a game that doesn't work. So I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But all right, well, let's wrap it up. Plug away. We'll let's go reverse order. So Mike, if you want to go first, go for it.
Well, thanks for having me again. Had a lot of fun. Looking forward to seeing Scooby Doo in action. Hope it's a good game. You can catch me on Pinballers on Twitch and of course on TPN Tuesday nights. We will be holding our 4th annual 12 Strikes of Christmas this Saturday. We're going to be all dressed up in North Pole themed gear. They're going to be a lot of fun. So definitely tune in and check it out if you can. Other than that, you can catch us at our usual times when we're streaming.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Always appreciate you, man. George, go for it.
My name is George. I stream on Don't Panic Flip Monday and Tuesday, on TPN on Thursdays. I stream late at night because late at night's more fun. I don't know. I got nothing better.
Yeah.
Just because that's how things started. So if you happen to be up late, you're in Mountain Time, and you want to hang out, that's Twitch is the place to find me. And then on TPN on Thursdays across Facebook, YouTube and Twitch as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, George. Thank you for all the things you prepared that I did not get to. So appreciate it. Sorry,
Anytime.
man. Sorry, man. Yeah. Hadi, go for it, man.
What's up? I'm Hadi. I also stream late at night. It's a good time because everyone's asleep. Whoops. There goes my camera.
There it
Anyways,
goes.
you can't see me anymore.
There it goes.
I just kicked out the cord. But anyways, you can check me out at Frisco Pinball Monday nights on TPN at 10 p.m. Central. I'm about to stream if you'd like to stop on by. I already started the stream countdown. I'm going to be playing Toten and Iron Maiden tonight virtually. So thanks again for having me. This was a great discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you streaming? Because I could just raid you if you're streaming, but otherwise, or did he already leave? I don't know.
He's already setting up
can't
his
see
stream.
him, yeah.
He's
No,
live
I'm here.
now.
There we go. There's
There he
my
is.
camera. I kicked out the power cord. But yes, I'm going to play some late night pinball. It's always fun seeing pinball around the clock. So you've got plenty of people to watch. If you want to stop on by,
Oh, there you
please do. If not, it's all good.
All right. Well, we'll just raid you then. That's the way to go.
Thank you.
Frisco Pinball. All right, I'm going to start that. See you soon, Hadi. Yep. So everybody stay around and raid Hadi unless you've had enough of them. If you've had
Please
enough
don't.
of them, yeah. You should definitely tell Hadi that if you didn't know, you can watch YouTube videos in like half speed. So you learn something new every day. That was super helpful. And yeah, I'm Joel. This is the Flippin' Out stream. Tomorrow night, same time, 10 to midnight, I will be streaming Bond. So I know there really hasn't been many streams of that yet. So definitely check it out tomorrow night. I'll be streaming Bond, and that'll be on Flippin' Out Pinball on Twitch. So definitely do that. Come say hi, chat it up with us, listen to the Bond theme. It should be fun. The raid, hopefully the raid. Come say hi, chat it up with us, listen to the Bond. There, okay. The raid should happen soonish. I don't know. We'll see. It takes forever. Yeah, everybody that's in chat here, Bill from Memphis, absolutely Sterling. Always appreciate you being here. Yeah. YouTube, definitely comment. I try to respond to everyone. I don't know. Hadi, let us know when you're just flooded with all these viewers. Are you?
I will let you know. This was a really good chat. Thank you, everybody, and everybody that showed up. You guys made it worthwhile. So this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
No,
I appreciate it.
absolutely.
This was a good topic.
And thanks to Spooky Pinball for releasing this video today.
We
Because
needed
yes, everybody needs to do releases on Wednesdays. But all right, I think
My
it
camera
just
went
happened.
out just as the raid
Yep.
happened.
All right, Hadi,
True.
there you go. Enjoy the
All right,
33
thank
people
you.
that are there
Thank
waiting
the
for you.
raid.
All right.
Appreciate it.
I'll see everybody later.